Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So today I got to talk about this. This price squeeze for Bitcoin is incoming, and that's because Bitcoin reaches a historic extreme for one of its important metrics, right? This is a metric that has not flashed buy since $5 for Bitcoin. So think about that. All right, let's talk about this and everything else that's going on in the world of crypto. All righty. Welcome, guys. Today, not a whole lot of movement, but I have a good feeling about tomorrow. Generally speaking, after a FOMC meeting, we have a day or maybe a half day of red and then we bounce back. So today we didn't have any movement. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I have a good feeling about tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see. But overall, it's a sideways day today. No movement whatsoever. The US market was kind of the same, like basically really flat. One person, though, is very happy, and that is this guy right here, Elon Musk. He had his pay package reinstated. At least that's what it seems like, but not really, because whatever happened in Delaware, has not happened yet. So this is just Elon voting on moving the company and asking the shareholders if he can get his original pay package, which quite frankly he does deserve because he made Tesla what it is. But still, it's an enormous amount, right? But even with this, doesn't mean, I don't think this clears the hurdle, from a legal standpoint. I think this is just enough to go appeal what that judge said was unfair. As far as I know, maybe some of you guys are lawyers and you could explain this better, but from my understanding, this doesn't automatically mean that he just gets that pay package. This is just him reaffirming with the shareholders that he deserves it, and they said yes. Anyways, I guess that was a big thing, and he's very happy about it. He's 56 billion is 56 billion. That is an enormous amount of money. No matter if you're number 1 or 2 or 3 on the world's richest list, it's still $56 billion. But what's even bigger than that is he claims his Optimus robots with AI will one day make Tesla a $25 trillion company, even though he did say selfishly that he would move the robotics and AI division away from Tesla if this pay package was not reinstated. So I don't know, like that, like ultimatums like that doesn't really seem like they really should be stated or work, but somehow it still went through. I don't know about that. That's like half the value of S&P. I don't know about that. Anyways, how this relates to Bitcoin, you may be wondering, is this. Eric Voorhees said, hey, Tesla, Elon, well done on the vote today. Next, you should consider holding some of your balance sheet in Bitcoin instead of this trash. Well, Tesla, maybe Eric doesn't know, Tesla does hold a significant amount of Bitcoin, over like 100 million, 150 million-ish. But they did have over $1 billion at one point in time. But here's the thing. Any company, including Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, anyone that's holding a boatload of fiat, this is what they're seeing. They're seeing their buying power erode over time due to inflation. Okay, inflation will rob you and me and companies and institutions alike. Basically, it robs everyone equally of their buying power. That's why everyone should adopt a Bitcoin strategy, right? It's really that simple. That's what Michael Saylor started, but now we're seeing more and more of it. Here's the funny thing, and this is kind of the same story with me. So we have a congressman that after he learned a little bit about money, he became very pro-Bitcoin. And not only that, he believes we should end the Federal Reserve. That's kind of how I am. Like, when I first started this channel, when I first started learning about Bitcoin, I just kind of knew about Bitcoin, but I didn't really understand money. And I'm not saying I'm an expert at understanding money, but the more I learned about money, the more I learned how, as a country, we are built on a house of cards, really. And the only reason why the house of cards haven't collapsed is because we have a money printer. That's the only thing. Countries have their money printers, right? If you didn't have that, the whole system would have collapsed a long time ago. So that's the only thing really sustaining the system is this money printer. And, we have this weird relationship between the Treasury and the Fed. And of course, it's just a really bad system. We have endless debt, which we have no intention to ever pay off, right? We used to have a debt ceiling, but somehow that was voted against. Now we don't have a debt ceiling, so we can, again, accrue as much debt as we want, although we have to pay the interest on that debt, which we can't pay. So again, what does that lead to? More borrowing and more printing. And also, by the way, higher taxes. So it's funny. If you learn actually about money, I mean, most people don't, but if you actually take some time to actually kind of study how the Federal Reserve works, how the Treasury works, how the money system works, you cannot not be bullish on Bitcoin, right? It seriously is going to increase your faith and conviction in Bitcoin by 100-fold. And it certainly did for me. And, I'm glad to see that even Congress people are now seeing the same thing. Will the Federal Reserve be ended anytime soon? No. But it's good to see that there are people that kind of understand how it's a broken system. And the Federal Reserve was created not to help people, but to help the banks. All right. With that said, we do have some that understand, right? And that's why so far we have 12 billion of net inflow into the crypto market this year alone. That is quite a lot, but there are going to be a lot more people and companies and institutions and banks that will be depositing more money in the future. Okay, keep in mind, this is a global thing. Okay, Bitcoin doesn't just exist. Crypto doesn't exist just in America. It's around the world. We know those ETFs have taken in 70 billion or something like that within a short amount of time. ETFs from other countries now Hong Kong is starting to see some momentum. 2 billion in Bitcoin, 26 million in Ether. Australia's trying to play catch up. Canada has it. Europe has ETPs. I mean, there are a lot of institutions and hedge funds and VCs and I don't know, a lot of banks, fintech companies. I mean, they are all FOMOing in right now because they want to avoid this. And plus, they want to gain on the juicy gains that will be coming soon. Same thing with whales. Whales with over 1,000 Bitcoin. 1,000 Bitcoin is quite a lot. You have to be a whale. Okay, but hey, you know what? If you got it in 2012, 2013, right? Could have afforded it. But now, not so much, unless you're a whale. But you could see that number continues to go up. It started really picking up since this year. Since about January, February this year, that's when it really skyrocketed. Now, you could probably attribute a lot of that to the ETFs, for example, because that's when the ETFs started, right? But still, you could see how the full year 2023, it barely moved, and this year just started skyrocketing. And I don't think that's going to stop. I think the remainder of this year is going to be the same thing. We're going to start seeing upwards movement, and 2025, we're going to keep on going up as well. Right? So whales are loading up. And in case you're wondering, okay, what is the overall distribution of Bitcoin holders? I mean, I think most people don't realize that there's an estimate, anywhere from 5 to 20% of Bitcoin is lost forever. And that's because early miners, they had a hard drive crash. They lost their keys. They lost it to Mt. Gox, whatever it may be, right? There are a lot of Bitcoin that is just lost forever. Even though we have 21 million, or we will have 21 million, but 4, 5, 6, 7 million are lost. So we really don't have even 21 million, right? We have Satoshi not moving his stack. And we have, long-term holders. But look at even governments, ETFs, corporation. But look at yet to be mined. We only have 6.6% out of the entire pie. We only got 6% left. That is not a whole lot to go around for the entire world. Okay. If any other industry, gold industry, oil industry, any commodity industry, if they come out and say, we only have 6.6% left ever for history, we're going to see that price of commodity go up to the moon. But somehow yet people are still ignoring that fact for Bitcoin, right? Imagine if oil companies actually said, we only got 6% left and there will be no more oil. Price per gallon of gasoline will probably shoot up to like $1,000. It would be absolutely nutty. But somehow with Bitcoin, there's still so many people that don't believe, that still doesn't understand, and thinks that we will forever have infinite amount of Bitcoin, and that's just not the case. We're seeing so much of it being removed from circulation every single day. And here is that metric I want to show you guys that reached historical extreme. So TechDev posted this and said that there's only one other time Bitcoin's existence when it had a tighter 5D compression. It was 12 years ago and the price was $5. It's funny when he's like 5D compression, and if you look in the comments and people are like, what does that mean exactly? And of course you got jackasses that say, well, 5D is greater than 4D and less than 60. A lot of people don't understand, but it's really a 5-day Bollinger Band squeeze. We have a massive squeeze that we haven't seen since 2012 when Bitcoin was at $5. Okay? This has never triggered since then. I mean, there's been squeezes, but not as tight as this. We haven't seen a squeeze this tight since $5 for Bitcoin. I was going to make another joke, but I decided not to. But that tells you, we're not at $5 right now. We're at $66,000, $67,000, whatever. Tomorrow we're going to be back at $70,000. Okay? That is an extreme buy signal. We haven't seen something like this since 2012. So if this doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. I show you guys metrics all the time. So many of them are triggering. Buy. We are going to make that next leg up. We are going to go a lot higher. And yes, it's just a matter of time. It's not when. No, it's not if. It's when, right? All right. Outside of Bitcoin, what about any other assets? Are they ready to pump? Well, yeah, ETH. Gary Gensler actually said that ETH ETFs, spot ETFs, should be fully approved by September. Okay. Now, I think September is a very important month. We may get the very first rate cut in the US in September. So I don't know if that's aligned with that. Maybe BlackRock already called Gary and said, hey, we want this to happen in September. That's very likely because that's when we get a rate cut. And I do think September timeframe is when the whole market really starts skyrocketing. And plus, it's like 2 months before the election. That's going to be big. And then we get Ethereum ETFs approved and trading. We got a lot of catalysts. A lot of catalysts coming up in September, right? So a lot of you guys are wondering and always asking, when is Ethereum ETFs going to start trade? Well, probably September. Maybe it comes sooner. But permanent holders for Ethereum also skyrocketing recently. We're getting a ton of massive whale buys. It seems like these whales know something. They're loading up before the pump, right? That's what it means. A lot of metrics show a ton of Ethereum buying right now. And plus a lot of the other dApps on top of Ethereum also, being removed from circulation. That means there's a lot of dollar cost averaging, right? Even Shiba Inu, okay, down 2.4%. Okay, this is actually exchange supplies, by the way, not the price. Link down 2.9%. Again, exchange supply. ETH is down 8.6% from the exchanges. So again, people are loading up right now, and that's what you're supposed to do. DCA when the prices are low. You know that the next leg up is around the corner. You know the pump is going to come. So load up on your favorites. Bitcoin, could be Ethereum, could be Shiba, could be Chainlink, could be Solana, could be BNB, could even be XRP and Cardano, right? The next leg is coming. And another one that a lot of people are fans of is Injective. Injective actually has been doing quite well. In March, it topped out. It came back down in April, and now it's starting to slowly come back up. One of the strongest L1s in all of 2023 and even 2024. But they're going through Injective 3, which is their new kind of upgrade. They're getting into real-world assets, which of course is very hot right now, right? Bridging off-chain, on-chain assets. Okay, part of that RWA, PayPal, stablecoin. I don't hear anyone talk about PayPal, stablecoin, but still, it's out there, and PayPal is a big fintech company. They have also integrated Injective, and they have a lot of stuff going on, including the burning mechanism, which has been increased, even though Injective is inflationary, but their overall unlocking schedule decreases significantly moving forward, and their burning mechanism is increased. It's actually quite interesting. So basically 60% of the trading fees are collected by Injective. Then users can bid, okay, for that basket of fees. And then the bidding is burned. So it's like a weird system, but somehow it works. And they upped it, making Injective more deflationary going forward. So that's pretty good. And then also there's a perpetuals futures protocol that is also launching on Injective, and they already launched on other chains as well. So Injective, you may be wondering why it's coming up. There's a lot of stuff going on in Injective too. Great L1. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. All right. Let me scroll up. Massar TV says, CRU is the best crypto channel. I appreciate that. Crypto Slice says, sup, George. I introduced you to my crew at work. Proud to say they made an account and purchased some me. You mean Bitcoin or crypto? I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Some people are receptive to change. A lot of people have asked me about Bitcoin, right? And I try to explain it, but most people don't ever take action. But any of you guys are able to convert more people to Bitcoin, the better it is. Defendable says, Bazinga and Sol next 100x. The dev is Bazinga happy. Yeah, I don't know about that. What is your thoughts on RWA lending projects like Goldfinch? I personally not a fan of them. Not a fan of Goldfinch or Ondo, because who wants to buy tokenized yield of treasury bonds? Not me. Can you make money with their tokens? Sure. They could do very well, but they're just not projects I'm interested in. You know, I have a really good storyline for a good movie. You know, Satoshi's wallet hasn't been moved forever, like 14 years, right? No one knows who he, she, they are. I have my theory. I think it's like a 3-person group, right? A good Bitcoin movie would be if, hey, one day, all of a sudden, we see one Bitcoin being moved from that wallet. And the type of, and then, you know, everyone goes wild. Everyone's speculating what's going to happen. Did someone crack the wallet? Did Satoshi come back? Does he plan on selling it? You know, and everyone goes wild over it, right? I think that would make a very interesting Bitcoin movie. Matthias Kraus, dog go to the moon. Are you talking about dog, the Bitcoin rune? Well, 700 million. That's pretty high already. It debuted pretty darn high too, but you know, it did okay since March. Gary the North. I mean, you're asking the same question. It's not exploding to the moon. It's a little bit higher than when it debuted, but when it debuted, it was already really high. So I don't know. W Dog, where can I learn to leverage trade? You could just self-learn, you know, with small amounts, but basically, or you could watch a million videos that exist from others. So I just advise be very, very careful. It's not that difficult to learn. Basically, you set a multiplier. Make sure you always select isolated instead of cross. So that way, cross will pull your like liquidity from all of your other assets, which you don't want. If something's going to get liquidated, you might as well let it liquidate. You don't want it to be going under and pull your other assets with it. So make sure you always select isolated, and then you set the multiplier you want, and then you click long or short. That's really it. And then you could close it afterwards. You can add margin if you feel like you're getting close to your liquidation point, and you could set a stop loss, which you could designate like a dollar amount or a percentage, and that's really it. Pulse Fiend, you think Roaring Kitty's hype is done this cycle? I don't know. Maybe not. I haven't heard what happened since that live stream. Is he go live stream again? What does he go do with his call option? Did he already close them? Or does he plan on exercising them or doing a hybrid, like closing some and exercising some? I haven't heard of it. Like, I think that first stream was a big flop. And I don't know. You figure he would want to do more streams, right? John Terrell. With your swagger, you remind me a little bit of Andrew Tate. Have you thought about making your own Hustler U courses? Yeah, I could if I just became a total ass and started becoming very arrogant and calling people out. I guess I could do that, but no, I appreciate it. I do have some simple courses, right, that teaches people about Bitcoin, Ethereum, DeFi. That's in my academy. I had the Patreon, which people can sign up. Great newsletters, a lot more information every week. So those are kind of like my little mini courses, right? But yeah, like a whole like university. I don't know. I just feel like you can learn most of that for free, right? Or you just continue to tune in and you get your education for free. He sold the calls for more shares? Okay. All of it or just some? Because to exercise those calls like would have taken hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm assuming he didn't do all of it, just some of it. You should do a crypto boot camp like Hell Week. I don't know. Maybe someday. Cass and Way say all you need to do is own Bitcoin, BNB, Sol, and ETH, and if you hold for 10 years, you'll do just fine. At least 2 of those will be big winners. I don't disagree with that. If you hold those 4 for 10 years, guaranteed, unless you're starting out with nothing, like $10. Even if you had like, I'd say 5,000, if you hold it for 10 years, you have a good chance of being a millionaire. Like 10 years, that's 2 cycles from now. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe 5,000 is too low to be a millionaire. Maybe like something like 10,000, 20,000, you could be a millionaire in 10 years just by holding those 4. I mean, that's 2 cycles. That's a long time. Before the stream, I was telling people that I found a giant turtle in my backyard. And I mistakenly typed turbo, you know? And I think turbo has a ring to it. I think that would make a great meme coin. Turbo. Take it easy, enjoy your life. I really hope so next year. Although I might be going all out with IFC next year, so even though I'm taking it easy with my channel, but I'll probably make it up for an IFC. So I really think that it could blow up into something huge. So I don't know. We'll see. Sail. Hi, mate. I'm from Australia. Can you do a price prediction for Matic? You know, I'm not terribly bullish on Matic right now. A lot of competition. They seem to be a little bit in disarray, driving a lot of dApps away. I don't know. I think they could get back to their previous high at least, but they're kind of starting to fall on CMC slowly. That's not a good sign. What was their previous high? I hope poll 2 really changes things, but their previous high market cap was around 19. Let's just round up 20 billion. They're not too far off, but yeah, I think they could get back there. Heard of Mystery Mary? No. No, never heard of that. When you've been selling for DCA portfolio, have you been carrying over the losses gains to new buys? Yes. So if I carry over the loss because if I sell something and it's only worth $30, I'm only adding $30 when I'm buying something. It's not like I reset to the original $100 or $200, right? So basically, I'm just taking my losses and whatever's left over, I'm using that to buy something else. I haven't done much selling on my DCA portfolio, but that's what I have been doing. Raul Paul says banana zone is coming. I don't even know what the banana zone is. That sounds like a good thing to be in a banana zone, although I'm not quite sure. Stavon says, I'm defending my thesis on cryptocurrencies for a master's degree tomorrow. Can you show the chart of the number of Bitcoin left on exchanges? I don't have that with me right now. Like, I don't have it. I bet if you search, you can find it. Just go Google that. Drew says Kitty sold all his calls. He holds 9 million shares of GME. Average price is 23.4, worth 262 million. Hey, that ain't too shabby from 50,000. So I think he's okay. He's doing okay. But that day of the stream, his portfolio was worth like 600 million. Isn't Banana Zone the same as Sausage Party? Maybe. Banana Zone means parabolic. I mean, I show you guys stuff like this all the time, guys. There are so many charts and metrics and signals that declare that this is the time to be blowing up. Of course, when you zoom out like this, you can't predict the exact day or the exact week, but we are on the verge of a huge breakout. We've been going sideways for 3 freaking months, and we got so many catalysts coming up, and even the charts say we're ready to move, right? We got all these patterns. We got like a bullish flag, a broadening wedge. We got this extreme Bollinger compression squeeze that we haven't seen since $5 for Bitcoin, right? It's just a matter of time, right? When it comes to Bitcoin, you just have to have patience, or any crypto, because there can be times where we go sideways for an entire year. Sometimes we go sideways for 6 months. Sometimes we go sideways just for a few weeks. But we've been doing it for 3 months. That's quite okay. You can't really complain about Bitcoin being at where we are now versus 6 months ago, 8 months ago. We were at $30,000 and below. Did you guys know The Boys show came back? I think the first 3 episodes of season 4. I can't wait to see it. That's like one of my favorite shows. And I'm rewatching Breaking Bad with my kids and my wife. Man, Breaking Bad season 4 and 5. I don't know if I can think of a show that was as good as season 4 and 5. 5 is extremely crazy, but season 4 was really good. Season 1 and 2 quite boring. If you get through it, season 3 starts picking up. 4 was epic, and 5 is like masterful. Like, I don't think you can I don't know, unless you guys tell me. Has there been another show with this season better than season 5 of Breaking Bad? Like, I don't think you can name one. Deputy Dog says, we need a crypto president. You know, the funny thing is everyone's turning pro-crypto except Biden. So whether they truly believe in it, I don't know. But it seems like everyone's turning pro-Bitcoin these days. Season 2 of SpongeBob. God. Get out of here. Dragon Ball Z. I like Dragon Ball Super a lot better than Z. And then, you know, they're not doing a Super 2, I don't think. I don't know what's going on. Super has been like out for like, what, 5 years, 6 years. They still don't have Super 2. I don't know if they're going to do another one. That last movie was not that good. I still have not watched Yellowstone. Your Honor, I saw that on Netflix. I'm wondering if I should watch that because Walter White's in there. I know that's not his real name. Crypto Awaken. What do you think about the BRICS movement? Some really big news recently. Do we see a dollar crash? I think it's never going to crash as fast as some people make it out to be, but it's a slow burn, right? As more and more countries get off their reliance on the dollar, the worse it is, right? And why? You may think why. Well, you know, everything I've been saying about how the financial system is built on a house of cards and we get to print as much money as we want, right? Well, we also borrow money, and people don't understand. How do we borrow money? Well, we sell bonds, and a lot of those bonds go overseas, right? But if those countries no longer want our bonds, first of all, they could sell off what they hold, right? Which would mean that the market is flooded with treasuries that no one wants, which will drop the price. That's bad. And number two, when we go and try to borrow more money, we can't because there's less countries that want it. So this other countries get off the dollar reliance. Reliance is bad long term, but you know, BRICS countries only make up four countries, right? 4 or 5 countries. There's still plenty of countries out there with worse economies, with weaker fiat. So they still will continue to buy dollar and utilize it. But over time, if more and more countries start embracing another world reserve currency that's not the dollar, yeah, it's going to be very bad for the U.S. I never watched The Wire. Some people have said The Wire was good. The Shield was good. I never watched The Shield either. Someone else said The Wire is the best show. Where could you watch The Wire at? Is it on Netflix? What do you think about Musk Elon pay package? You know, I don't know the legalities. My friend is telling me this is not a sure thing. Even with this reinstated thing, pay package doesn't mean that the Delaware court ruling just goes away. So I don't actually quite know if this means anything. Maybe Elon is going to use this and appeal that Delaware court decision. It seems like this is not a sure thing. HBO Max, The Shield, or The Wire. I gotta watch The Wire. How old is that show? Let's go Mavs. Yeah, Mavs will get swept. It would be embarrassing if they get swept in the finals, but it's looking like that. They just can't. The Celtics is too good, too loaded. Who is hotter, Cynthia Loomis or Kathy Wood? If I had to choose between the two, I would say Kathy Wood. She has something going on with those glasses. I bet when she was young, she was fairly attractive, I would say. But, you know. Greg says, yo, George, got my Cybertruck Monday. Love it. I'm glad you do. Okay, I'm hoping all those problem videos that I've watched are all just like one-offs and not like a major thing. Do you like all the attention you're getting? Because I bet like everyone's staring at you, for better or for worse. Someone else said The Wire, the best show of all time. Man, I guess I have to watch The Wire now since so many people think The Wire is like the best. Anyways, all right, guys. I'll let you guys go. Overall, Bitcoin, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I have a feeling 60% of the time I'm right every time. I have a feeling that tomorrow we're going to see a good recovery. But in the meantime, right, know that a lot of signals, a lot of metrics are showing a big, big price squeeze is coming. And the next leg up is coming as well. All right. Smash it a like. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ozarks is also good too. Very good show. All right. Take care.